the body parts case has been postponed to the 30th of November. Flavio Hlabangwane will remain in the hospital section of the Johannesburg prison. Hlabangwane was arrested earlier this month after body parts were discovered in his fridge at his home in Soweto. He has been charged with the murder following the gruesome discovery. Our reporter Tshegohaco Moagi is following this story. Tshegohaco, explain to us where the process is now, or should we say what the process is going to be looking ahead.
Well, good morning, Xoli. So it took quite a while for Flavio Hlabangwane to actually come into the court this morning. Very brief appearance from him. And we heard as well while in court that he tried to commit suicide once again this morning. And you'd understand, you remember that when he was actually caught, when these body parts were found, and just before his arrest, he tried to commit suicide then too. So the NPA really, the state has argued and really said that, you know, they are aware that they're seemingly dealing with a suicidal person in this matter. So they are trying to also tread carefully and to ensure that he actually does face trial. But to give us more details about what has transpired in court, we are joined by the NPA spokesperson, Phindi Mjonondwane. Phindi, thank you so much for your time. Now let's just start off with that issue of him trying to commit suicide and what then is the state's stand on this matter.
Well, the defense indicated in court that they'd like to bring an application for the accused to undergo a mental assessment at a mental institution. And as the state, our view is that we are not going to oppose such an application because we believe that it's in the interest of justice as well for the accused to undergo this mental assessment.
Now, of course, this arrest happened earlier this month, and the case has now been postponed to the 30th of November. Are we then expecting to get a release or an understanding as to whether he is mentally fit to stand for trial?
Well, the information that was brought to our attention is that the accused person is suicidal. Hence, the defense brought the application that he undergoes an assessment. That inquiry will be held on Monday. And once the court has decided on whether or not he should undergo the assessment, that will happen. And then a report will be compiled and brought to court so that the court can then take a decision going further on how to proceed with this matter.
Have you been able to identify the deceased as yet?
Well, consultation processes are still ongoing with the family members, and as well as investigations are ongoing in terms of the DNA tests that must be conducted. So at this stage, as the state would like not to reveal the name of the deceased.
And Phindi, will the NPA, will the state actually be opposing bail? I mean, you're not opposing him going for this mental assessment, but will you be opposing his bail should he apply?
Well, we'll decide when we reach that stage. Remember, in court, the attorney representing the accused person indicated that the accused abandoned his bail application. So at this stage, we are dealing with an accused person who has abandoned his bail application. But due to the seriousness of the crime that we allege that he has committed, as the NPA, we will then make a decision which will probably be to oppose bail, taking into consideration the seriousness of the offense that the accused is charged with, as in when he decides to bring a bail application before court.
And just remind us once more, Phindi, what exactly is he charged with according to the state?
The accused is facing 2 charges, one of murder, and the second one is the contravention of the Inquest Act, in that he failed to report the body of the deceased person.
All right. Thank you so much, Phindi Mjonondwane from the NPA. She's, of course, the spokesperson, really just giving us details about what has transpired in court and also just telling us all those charges that the accused is facing at this point. And as you heard there, the NPA will not be opposing him getting this mental assessment. And Xoli, I must say that when he was then released to go back to prison, the court that was very packed, people were very upset by this decision that he now suddenly wants to plead that he's mentally unstable. So we'll have to see then what takes place on the 30th of November.
Tshegohaco Moagi, thank you very much for that update.